everyone. Welcome to the 3 o'clock live chat. I'm Heather. I'm Director of Education here at Luminess. And guys, we're going to finish our look. So we did, we talked, the 10 o'clock, we did skincare. I talked about the acne pen. We also put on Boost It to boost my complexion just by itself. We also put Boost It on a darker skin tone to show you how beautiful it looked with a darker skin tone. And then we also, on the 11 o'clock, we started the foundation. And then I added, because it ends today, our Blush, Glow, and Conceal. I did the concealer in Buff, and then I added Gilded and the blush all together. So you got to see how beautiful that is and get a hold of that deal before it goes away today. It's you get all three for $44, which is pretty darn amazing. So you get the blush, you get to pick your concealer, and then you get Gilded for free. So it's a pretty good deal just because of the fact that the compacts itself are $32. And you're getting all three for $44. So that's pretty amazing. Hello, Kendrin. How are you? Kedrin. Why am I saying it? Kedrin, right? Kedrin. Hello, Nicole. How are you? All right. So, you need my help. What do you need my help on? As I get my Lion King stuff out. What do you need my help on? I'm trying to think what I want to put on today. Yep, I want that one. Put that there. Hey, Dodie, how are you? Hey, Jane Todd. Yay. Okay, I did that right. All right, I do have Hakuna Matata on as well. So let's go in. I'm going to do a little bit of eyes. I even brushed Charming across my lid just to give me a little bit of color on that. How many drops should I use? Should I be using to cover? So, Nicole, it's kind of a loaded question. I can do full coverage with about 5 or 6 drops. So it's going to depend on what you're using beforehand, what foundation you're using. I use about 5 or 6 drops of silk to cover my face, but I also use the peach cover up or peach color corrector. So if you're using like eraser or X out or something, about 5 or 6 drops, and it also depends on how much coverage you're wanting. So I know that's kind of a wide ranged question, but I hope that helps. Kedrin, I'm going to say it like 80 different times. How do you use eraser? Eraser is something you're going to put on beforehand. You're going to hit those problem areas, blend it, blend it, and then you can airbrush over it. There's really no reason, unless you want to use eraser and X out. I'm all about cutting steps, cutting the time, and making you look flawless. And so there might be times that you use just eraser. There might be times that you just use X out if you need a little more coverage. If your face needs a little bit of plumping as far as helping with fine lines and wrinkles, you might want to use porcelain. So for those airbrush essentials, there's going to be different reasons to use them. But I wouldn't say use them all at once. So I hope that helps. All right. So now I'm going to take, let's see, I don't know what color I want to use today. Have I used the green? I'm going to use the green. So I'm going to use the Safari Khaki. Now I already have the concealer and I powdered it a little bit with our translucent powder on my lid. So I already have that base, that foundation already used. Okay. So did that, okay, that helped. Okay, good. She said, okay, thanks. So I'm just blending this in my crease and kind of blending it up. And then I'm going to take a flat eyeshadow brush, which is the L210. And I'm going to place that in the meadow. Okay. And then I'm going to hit the extra off, and I'm going to place this on my lid. Hey, Moozy. To give a little bit of color right there on my lid. So not going all the way up. I'm just kind of doing it a little thicker than I normally would. Not thicker, but like not as up. I'm not going all the way up to the crease for the full lid. I'm going a little bit more than halfway on my lid though. If that makes sense? So not all the way up to the crease, but a little thicker is if I was using it as eyeliner. And I'm just placing it right there. All right, so now I can also go back and I'm going to do a little bit of Safari and King and just kind of blend those two together. So I don't have that real harsh line. And then I can take, let's see, another angled brush, or we'll use this one. Or I'm taking an angled brush, and let's go through King. And line the bottom. Now, another option to do this would be to go with the green, to line with the green. If I wanted a little bit more drama, maybe a little fancier, maybe if I had an event or something, then I would do that with the green. But just going to work, I'm going to swipe underneath here just to make sure there's no fallout. And then that's all I'm going to do on my eyes. Now I'm going to take the sculpting palette, get my angled brush, which is the L110. Now I did blush already, and I did the gilded, the shimmer. So I'm just going in there and kind of, I go in, I'm going to contour, but then I can go up and over just a little bit. And then I can always add more. Now if I was doing this all together, I would probably do this first and then add the blush and the gilded. But let's say I was touching up my makeup, let's say I had something to go to and I did more of a neutral look at work, and I wanted to jazz it up a little bit and I wanted to get some more contour down, then I would do it this way, and then I can still go in and add a little more blush to this. Because if you notice, that gilded stayed on my nose, the Cupid's bow, like that stayed put. But because I buffed right where that blush was, I can go back and add a little more of the Charming blush just to get a little more of that pink on. Does that make sense? All right, so now I feel like my hair's going flat again. All right, so let me get I put lotion on my hands because I'm having those issues with my hands and everything's like sliding through. All right, let me get my little holder for my lash glue. Kathy, I am. So with the sculpting palette, I really do blend a lot of them. I even do that with the Cut One palette. But when I did it today, I blended these two right here. Those two are my colors. And then if I do a little bit heavier contour, it's usually right around that area. But again, it's like butter going on your skin. So just start off lighter, and then you can keep adding until you get there. That way it's not too overwhelming when you're contouring. All right, I think we're almost out of that glue. So I'm gonna take these lashes. Grab my tweezers. And now I'm going, now the glue that I did like a stream of it, and I'm going to drag my lash right through there. So I'm only putting the glue on the bottom part and not necessarily on the lash itself. And then I do concentrate a little bit more on the ends, because if the lashes are gonna pop off, it's usually those ends that have a harder time. And so I do go through and just put a little, like drag them through a little bit more on the ends. Like butter. Exactly. All right, so now I have this one. I'm going to take my mirror, turn it over to the magnification side. I'm going to look down into my mirror, because then it's stretching my eye the way it needs to. Pushing over those curly lashes. Now, if you have straight out lashes, you'll want to curl them before this step. You don't want to curl your lashes when you have the fake lash on. And if you have straight out lashes, it's better to curl them, because then you don't have to fight on putting your lash, sinking your lash and that lash together. I'm going to do that end. Bring that down a little bit more. Making sure this is sticking. Oh, lashes make such a difference. Now it keeps sliding up for some reason, so I'm going to make sure it's going to stay right there. So it looks like I got, okay, I'll pull this off real quick, because it looks like I got a bunch of glue on my lash, and I know that's going to be a problem later on. So I'm going to pull it off. See, everybody has trouble with lashes now and then. And I'm going to do it again. So I just pulled it off because it was giving me a hard time. I felt like I was going to have some issues later. So I'm running it through the glue one more time. I'm going to let that, I have a fan right here, so I'm letting the fan blow on my lash to get it a little tacky. A little tacky. All right, and now we're going to go again. So look down, up and over, stick. Bam. 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 Okay. Okay. Well, now I don't know if it's the lotion on my hands that's causing an issue, but we're going to make sure that that sticks. Now, I'm having a problem with it sticking, so I'm holding it in place, just not moving for a second to let it have that grab. Now I can go back. I'm going to drag the lash through the glue one more time, just because it took longer this time. And then thanks, Dawn. And then up and over. I mean, guys, y'all think I mess up all the time. I mean, it's just rolling with it. You got to roll with it. If you start getting stressed, I mean, it's just not going to work, right? All right, I'm going to let that sit for a second. Now, I'm going to go in, put this one, oh, now my, there we go. How to put that one up and over the curly Q lashes. Make sure that's in place. And I'll see that one was fine. It was just the other one that wanted to give me a hard time. Now, as I was looking at myself in this mirror and saw the close up, part, there is some fallout underneath my eye. So I'm going to grab, if I can open this with my slippery hands, grab my powder, get some on there, and I'm going to try to swipe one more time before having to try to fix it, okay? So I have a little bit of green right there. Now I can still see it a little bit. So depending on how bad that's going to bother you, you know, because there's things that bother us that nobody else can see, right? You guys realize that, right? There are times when, you know, I'm doing my makeup, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's going to drive me crazy. I have to fix it. I'm probably the only one who would ever know that was an issue. But if it bothers you, then you need to fix it. Thank you, Dawn. It's makeup. It's not right. Oh, Lord, thank goodness it's not. All right. So I have a little bit of green right there. So I'm just going to add this. Look, I'm just adding boom, boom, boom. That's it. I'm just adding a little bit. Oh, and then I'm just going to tap it out. I'm looking up. Tapping that out. Go over this a little bit more. And there it fixed it. So you can 100% get it off, but I would try with powder first, because the last thing I want to do is go in there with more cream makeup. Oh, you know, I already knew I had airbrush, or I'm sorry, I already knew this was concealer. We put that on first, but I'm airbrushed over it. So the less you touch it, the better it'll be. But I knew I didn't want to go in, like, I don't have to go in there and wipe it off and then rebuild this up. No, I'm going to try with powder first to sweep it and get that done. Boop, boop, bam. And then if I have to, I can go from there. Does that make sense? Right? Makes sense? Yeah. Hello, Natalie. Hey, Donnie. Good. Girl, I do not feel the pressure of doing things perfect. Do I want it to look good? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I want it to look good. I don't want to look like a hot mess. But that's the whole thing. You can always get it to where you want it. Are there things that I would do different? Oh, yeah. I could pick myself apart. I could pick myself apart. There are definitely things that I could tweak and keep tweaking, but that is a never-ending battle. Guys, we could sit in the mirror and do this for hours, but nobody got time for that. We can do things in a way that we look amazing, and it's done in less time, less makeup, and we look flawless. Okay? Hello, Angela. Now I'm going to use this matte. Now, I'm going to kiss the back of my hand to get some of the Hakuna Matata off. And I'll go in. Yeah. I love this. Now, this is a very matte lip. I cannot even open this. My hands have so much lotion on them. Let me see if I can get this over. There we go. I'm going to add Hakuna Matata on this. So if I didn't want something so matte, I could add the lip balm on top, and it gives me a little bit of movement. The mattes are going to stay in place. They're going to stay put, but you can add a little bit of the Hakuna Matata on top. Now I'm just going to do a light dusting because, one, I'm burning up in here. So I just want to make sure that I have a good shine on, a good shimmer with my, like there's a difference between, oh my gosh, I need a powder, and oh my gosh, you look amazing because you have a shimmer. We don't want to look like we can fry chicken on our face. So I want to powder it down a little bit, but I can also stay away from the areas that I did want my shine. All right. And bam, there you go. I do want to tweak my eyebrow. I'm like, I have to tweak it. So I go in here, tweak my eyebrow just a little. And do this. I love that this is an angled pencil because it does those movements, those hair-like, you can do hair-like movements to create a softer look and not like Sharpies. Okay, so bam, just wanted to tweak that a little bit because that was driving me crazy. Again, different things you can do to tweak it. There are other things, so little things that I would do. If I wanted a smokier eye, I could line my waterline with black. Add mascara. I could add mascara just to the bottom. I could add mascara to the top and bottom. So there are always little things. I could line my lips. I could do a little bit heavier contour. So there's always things you could keep adding. It just depends on what look and how far you want to go. Okay? That's hopefully what I do is I try to do things differently so you can see them in the extreme and the softness of what we can do. All right. Thank you, Musette. All right. Oh, thank you, Donnie. All right, guys, we are done for this Monday. Oh, I still can't believe it's Monday. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of the evening. I will see you tomorrow. We will be here tomorrow at 10, 11, and 3 with bells on. All right, guys, I will see you very soon. Have a great evening. Bye for now.